Okay, there's a message in this. I'm aware that Andy Divine has left a comment for me. Not going to make any difference, Andy. You thought it was okay to call me a C word and leave me in a terrified state in a police cell. Where are all the men? I thought there were some brave people left. Crumbs. No one would be during World War I and II. No one would have been. God, everybody's in a nappy these days. There's no one to look up to. God, if they can do this to me, mind you, if they're abusing children, there's no hope for vulnerable people like me. But Andy, you sound exactly like Tina CHAVE. So you post to me, you're strong. I don't need you to tell me that. I don't need anyone to tell me that. It's a miracle that I'm still here. This evening, right, before I say any more, Tina CHAVE did the same. She said about being strong. But like you, she talked herself up, I'll help you with this and that. You shouldn't be in these places. You're on severe disability and all of this. You shouldn't be in temporary accommodation by law. I've got evidence of her saying on Dan's police abusing powers that she's got, people in London, QCs on standby who can help you, charitable rights organisations, giving it all that. I had a domestic and I rang her, and whatever it was that suddenly decided she didn't want a phone call from me again, she wouldn't take a phone call from me again. Pretty much what you did, Andy, when they were saying, don't listen to what this guy is telling you. And you're saying that Caroline Stevens, don't attack her. When she said, I'm not going to say all of what she said, but she basically said, you work for the police. I'm not going to say any more than that. But this evening, right? Okay, so I'm in the home of someone I haven't met. I'm extremely vulnerable. I can't call the police, even though my partner's assaulted me twice this evening. I'm too scared to, because as you know, they kept arresting me on a fraud. But I tell you what, whether this Yolanda Kenwood is genuine or not, because I don't know, but under that video, that live stream I made about Andy Divine and the cult and all of that, she has commented, you have commented, and it appears to be you, and she is saying, that I've been targeted. I'm the victim of a global Masonic network working in Kent and Sussex and all this sort of thing. She's named one of the MPs who has been part of my failings for some time, the ex-MP Stephen Lloyd. One of them I met when I was a child outside my primary school. And so your guess is as good as mine, because I haven't got a clue. I don't know. I'm not an insider. But everything that I've said to you in the comments section under that video where I haven't exposed you. I've said Andy Divine and the cult followers because I thought it was bizarre and nasty to behave that way towards a vulnerable woman. I am feeling suicidal. I've attempted suicide in this very room. I can't call the police if I have a domestic with my partner or if he's being abusive to me, because when I rang 999 and my life was in danger and I was being attacked by a vile, protected criminal on a tag, 3 hours later, I recorded it, I was arrested. My lady witness, you know, the one I keep talking about, who was attacked in the street by random drunks trying to help me, that lady, who's gone through cancer treatment, that lady, the one who's got her own problems, that lady. I've got no one else doing one fucking thing for me. All the evil that these bastards have done to me, and this is the first time I'm swearing, by the way, because I know where I'm going when I die. But a lot of evil people don't, and they want to convince themselves they're on the right side, but they're not, because they know what they have done. But even when it's pointed out to them what they have done, and when there is evidence, so you're quite happy to call me a C word. Excuse me. Hello. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, right, okay, thank you very much. I'll just come down. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Excuse me a moment. I've just got a food delivery. I've been eating junk for the past couple of nights. That's why I'm like this. Excuse me. Right. So I've just been downstairs just to pick up a food. Junk food. All I can do is lie here and feel trapped. Emotionally, mentally, I had victim support hang up on me. They're a waste of time anyway. At the start of my relationship with my partner, he took a caring role. He deliberately screamed at me not to hit him when I hadn't hit him. But he did it because he wanted everyone in the flats to hear it. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of things, but I can't say them because I don't want to say them. He took a caring role. I didn't need a carer. I needed someone caring. I don't need a partner to be a carer. His dad said, "How do you feel about him being your carer?" And then I didn't see them for years. I didn't have a happy 40th or even a how is she early on in the year. Nothing. He had his sister's wedding. And I was going up to Beachy Head suicidal. And the very people who were meant to help me were these bastards. And I am saying bastards because they are. They're absolute sacks of shit. I don't care if my partner's got OCD or not. He won't say the days of the week. He doesn't like it when I say bloody or fart. But he was whispering under his breath for me to F off because I was telling him what he is, because he didn't care. He didn't care that I've got alcohol in here and that I was quietly trying to end it all in here a few nights back. Police don't care about anything. One of the idiots hung up on me last week when I was telling them about my partner, and yet they have arrested my partner for domestic abuse. Yeah, they said his behaviour was controlling. It's like dealing with one fucking great big playground, and I am not Superwoman. My mother would be 84. Her friends, I don't know if they're alive, but they said to me, "Are you getting help with her cancer?" And that's when I was in supported accommodation. So, Tina CHAVE, no, I don't want to go back into supported accommodation. All you could do, a child could do that. I rang you because I was going through domestic abuse. You haven't done one thing for me, one thing. And you work for a charity that helps all these people, Independent Advice Network. Yes, I have been strong. I've been bloody strong. You wouldn't last 2 minutes in my shoes. Okay, you gave me your story. And I thought, oh, a prayer's been answered. She's been through so much in her life. You got the help. Okay, you were very young. You were 15. Kicked out, whatever. Oh, no, you weren't kicked out. Sorry. I beg your pardon. No, you weren't. You were getting away from violence. Sorry. I apologise. Look, I don't want to go there. I'm sorry. But you have let down a vulnerable woman, a very vulnerable woman who has been the victim of serious crimes against humanity, crimes against civil liberties. I have been through so much, and it's a miracle that I've come this far. I had domestic violence after my mother's funeral, almost immediately after her funeral, by someone else, a creep, a piece of shit, a nothing, who'd made his ex-wives suicidal. One of them was found at the bottom of the stairs. He told me that himself. But he didn't tell me what he was like. And almost immediately after the funeral, but I was that vulnerable, that extremely vulnerable, I didn't call the police. Because this is what women do. They don't want to believe it. But when the police are being manipulated and they're already sick in their heads themselves, we're talking about, I've seen Dan's Police Abusing Powers channel. I've seen, my God, there isn't anything they won't do. paedophiles, rapists, white women beaters. And they're the people who are supposed to be protecting us. But I don't feel I can call the police over anything because they arrested me at 3 a.m. 6 a.m. 3 hours after I recorded a criminal on a tag threatening to beat me up in my own shared council home. Do they want me to end up on drugs? Because I know about the trafficking and the corruption is what I've heard about it in this country, the corruption. It all feeds the money laundering and all of that. It's all part of the same, I don't know. It's no good asking me. You'd have to ask John Patterson and Andy Devine. I don't know. I don't know about these things. I just know that basically they want me to end up just, it's amazing how you can have so many charities and agencies and social workers and support. We do this and we do that, and none of them will do one bloody thing. So as for that troll, Frank, you useless sack of shit, whoever you are, telling me to get a job, and you've got nothing better to do than troll. I've been doing other people's jobs, working. I've never worked harder in my life than when I've been on severe disability doing their jobs. I did care work years ago. And then I went straight into a system that was meant to support me. But because I'm not having a sex change like my middle sister, because I'm not feeding into whatever agendas and bullshit I've never met such ignorance and stupidity. And when I think of everything that my grandmother and my mother did, and how my grandmother lived through 2 world wars, and I've been put through this, and they won't take it seriously, that what they're doing are hangable offences under the Nuremberg Treaty. Well, my partner's not taking it seriously, that he could go to prison for coercive control. So no, nobody takes anything serious. No one actually takes responsibility. So as for that psychologist saying, what was her name? Jennifer Maris, because my partner's manipulated enough people as it is. There's enough narcissism before he came along. He took a caring role through Care for the Carers because Caroline Ansell MP office suggested it. Then they used him as a pawn. They banned him from visiting me in the hospital, which Leslie, the food bank advocate, said, I've never known anyone to do that. You better keep away from Darren. I think you shouldn't see him anymore. And his number is mysteriously deleted. Her number is deleted from my phone, like a few others. Not one person would help me. Not one. So Steve Churchill hanging up, or so many people hanging up, not wanting to hear it. This is everything my mum said. Everything my mum said. Because she worked at sea in the 50s and 60s, and she said, people in this country, they moan, but few will do anything about it. You know, and there's a lot of jealousy in this country as well. This is an absolute sack of a shit country. Costs what, up to 3 million a day to house, to put up people, illegal immigrants. This isn't about racism. This is about what I just said. Illegal immigrants, people who are here illegally. I haven't mentioned a race. Everyone knows about it, but no one does a thing. Welcome to the UK. Councillors are too afraid to speak up. Yeah, because they're giving caring roles to the ones who will abuse the vulnerable ones. And my partner was given that caring role. Sussex, I'll say it again, Sussex has got the highest rate of domestic abuse cases. I knew these figures and facts from years ago before I had the internet. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I knew about these things. I heard about the statistics. Yet the MP office gives the caring role to the partner. And when he's doing the coercive control to the vulnerable woman because she hasn't got the help that she needed, she's just left to. So yes, Andy Devine and Tina CHAVE, I am bloody strong. What does that make you, though? We were even arguing about Tina, both of us. And Dan did nothing about the bullying. And he was like, oh, Dan from Police Abusing Powers, the same people he's cried to when he's felt suicidal, Dan from Police Abusing Powers, who showed me the live stream, he's then tolerating abuse towards my partner that they don't even know. But are you trying to pull me out of this? So you're now being abusive to my partner because you're saying, oh, you've got an abusive boyfriend, but you're not helping me. I don't want to take another call from you. No. Here's the number for the listening bank, the Samaritans, and try the sanctuary. Yeah, that's where they want people. I've filled out an online application for them years ago, and I don't want to go back into supported accommodation. And even John Patterson said to me, you don't want to go back into supported accommodation. You want your own home. Yes, I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, seen what's going on behind the scenes. No, I don't. John Patterson was right. The Ministry of Defence, these cowards, these sacks of shit, who put him, Sussex police were out of their jurisdiction and they zoomed him down to the psychiatric unit in a blue lights flashing van. Why? Because he'd gone to Scotland Yard with legalese documents about baby murders. NHS, he was showing them to all the patients, including me. He was a brave man as far as I can only comment on what I know and what I see and what I experience. And I'm sick to death of being abused and exploited when those who speak the truth, those who are transparent, and I'm speaking for myself, and like Jeanette Archer, I can't wait to die. I fucking can't wait because I know where I'm going. All those others who jumped off Beachy Head or did whatever, or all those vulnerable women who suicided because they were being abused by a partner or by someone, by anybody, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, victims of the system. I'm going to be with them, every single one of them. I've had enough time to think about it. I've had enough time to lie here in my own sweat and filth in the home of someone I don't know, whom I haven't met. So yeah, victim support hung up on me. They weren't listening to me though. I said I'm too afraid to call the police because of that, what they've done. And at that point, Darren had walked in here and I was telling him to get out. And I said, I don't want to call the police. I said, I've attempted suicide here. He won't let me have a key to this place, which me and my lady friend say is wrong, and I'm not going there. So he came in here because of the fan, that fan over there. And on the side was keeping them awake. They're downstairs. Now, under normal circumstances, I might think, okay. But because of all the controlling, he assaulted me over the fan. I was trying to bring it back in here. But there's been so much gaslighting and nasty things going on. Manipulation of people, which is why he was banned from the psychiatric unit. He doesn't feel bad about what he put me through, not just once, twice. I can't touch anything in his flat. I can't touch the kettle. He assaulted me in his flat because he was pushing me down, telling me to go to sleep. Then he smacked me, and I had the cute, which I thought was a joke. And then he calls the police again, time after time after time. And then I'm on the sharp end of police brutality. And he didn't say anything to PC Austin, who's one of the sacks of shit. This is the first time I'm swearing, by the way. So apologies for anyone who's offended. But I'm literally at the end of my life. This could be it for me. I can't do it anymore. I'm carrying so much pain about my late mother, about my father, I don't have anyone. I don't have anyone to turn to. But that sack of shit, PC Austin, he assaulted me in Darren's flat. They play against each other. They are dangerous people, and they are not in the right jobs. PC Austin comes into my partner's flat. Darren's not telling them to leave me alone. This was a couple of years ago, was it? 3 years ago? No, a bit more than that. About 3 years ago. And he came in and he was like, I was in the bath and I jumped out starkers, threw some clothes on because Darren does this to scare me, to call the police, because it's a control thing, because don't forget, he's had the caring role. My lady friend has pointed out a lot of things that aren't right about what I've said about Darren, things that even I couldn't see. Him having the key and all this, not letting me have the key, him making me feel bad about snatching a knife when he's the one who's made me want to kill myself. So PC Austin, he once called the police one time while I was in the bath. I've gone and thrown clothes on, so still wet, shaking. PC Austin comes into Darren's flat. I'm kneeling on the floor at his feet to show that I'm not a threat. And he's still escalating, not de-escalating, escalating. And the thing is, Darren has done this so many times before, even when I've just sat there calmly in the armchair, shaking my head, showing I'm not afraid. Oh, I've got this woman here. She's disagreeing with me. So there's PC Austin. He did something to my wrist. I don't know what it was, but they then drive me down to the hospital, and he's saying, Bryony, you'll wake everyone up. Have some respect. This is a hospital. Yeah, this is a hospital that my mother was dying in, you shit. You absolute piece of scum. And then I had to get a nurse to look at my wrist. Oh, the Home Office train us to do that. You're an absolute sack of shit. And anyone who's behind that, Caroline Ansell was part of it. I was up on Beachy Head, suicidal, then orchestrated on the Wednesday, the 21st of October 2020, when I was on the phone for hours to the local government ombudsman and a social worker complaining that my safety was in danger in one of these temporary accommodations. I then had the manageress didn't want me there anymore because she was all fakey to begin with, because we all know they'd already admitted on the quiet that it had been in the papers that illegal immigrants and people, and no, not illegal immigrants, people from Hastings and Brighton. And as I said, I've got evidence of council meeting minutes. They know that criminals and the whole shebang are being thrown in together. And I'm one of them. People, and Tina CHAVE said to me that people with mental health issues should not be in these places. And she did nothing. But she was in the live chat and it's on my channel. She's no different to Andy DVINE saying that he will help me on the fraud over what happened with the police. And then talking about New Age Buddhist bullshit and leave it in the past and you're a strong woman and peace and love. Stop talking crap. You did nothing and you thought it was okay to call me a C word. Whatever it is, whether the Bible's real or not, because I'm questioning everything right now. I've prayed my butt off. I used the name of Yahweh because Darren took me to it. Now I'm talking to him. I'm saying you're the devil for what you've done to me. The bottom line is everybody knows what they're doing and the spirit behind what they're doing. They know. Even sociopaths know. And I've had proof. I've had here I am, I'm a sociopath. Okay, fine.